What's up, YouTube? Today we're going to be taking a look at some Great League rankings, but we're going to be taking a look specifically at the Catch Cup. Now, the Catch Cup means that only Pokemon available during the season of Might and Mastery are going to be available to play. So what I've actually done is I've gone through every single event that has occurred over the last season, and I've looked at, oh boy, that's not great, but I've looked at every single event spawn, as well as all of the wild spawns that have been available throughout the season, and I've basically input that data into PvPoke to create my own Great League rankings for the Pokemon that are available. So things that we didn't see during the season obviously are not going to be in these rankings. So after I did that, we have the top rankings here, so we can just take a quick look at what those top rankings are. Obviously, some of these Pokemon, they just sim well on PvPoke, like Primeape and Pangoro. They're always available, but they always just sim well when you do the rankings yourself, so that's why they're at the top. And then you have things, your typical picks like Gashon, Clodsire, Morpeko. Claydol's pretty high. You have Dusk Noir, Corsola, Roserade, which is pretty high as well. Marowak, Diggersby, Machamp, which is just kind of gets the same treatment as the other fighters up here. Malamar, which now is available in a shadow form. Togedemaru, Annihilate, Grumpig, Mandibuzz, Whiscash at 18, Alolan Marowak, Superior, Tinkaton, Stunfisk, Quagsire, Lapras, Runerigus, Steelix, Jellicent, Amoonguss, Grimer, Togetic, Credilli, Hisuian Electro. So yeah, you get the picture. There was a lot of Pokemon available. Pretty much everything that's normally available in the Great League. So without further ado, let's take a look at 10 top teams. So the first team that we're going to be looking at is Jumpluff, Lapras, and Primeape. Jumpluff, weak to ice, weak to rock. Its charge moves are resisted on steel. So we have Primeape in the back for all that, and then Lapras as your safe swap. Lapras is just super strong. It's an ice and water type, so it's weak to fighting. It's weak to electric. Fighting is resisted on Jumpluff, and electric is neutral. So overall, a pretty solid ABC style team here. And the Jumpluff Lapras core is just very strong. And then Primeape as your closer, which is obviously great. And it sims really well on PvPoke, so number one spot there. The next team that we're going to take a look at is a personal favorite of mine, actually. Drifblim, Drapion, Tinkaton. Drifblim as a ghost, weak to dark, and you've got two answers to dark in the back, and you have two Pokemon in the back, weak to ground, which Drapion would hopefully lure out and then can punish with Aqua Tails. And then you have Drifblim on the lead, which resists ground, so and has super effective coverage for ground. So I really like this. It's kind of an ABB style team, but it's also an ABC style team in the sense that they don't really share any typings in the back. But yeah, pretty strong and fun core here. The next team we're going to take a look at is Walrein, Annihilate, Claydol. Now, normally for a team like this, you would see Dugong on the lead, but Dugong was not available during the season, I believe. So we're replacing it with Walrein, and Walrein has very similar coverage, the exact same coverage actually, just different pacing and slightly different bulk, although pretty similar. You're weak to electric, you're weak to fighting, you're weak to rock. Claydol does well into all those, and Annihilate does well into most of those as well. And then Annihilate can pose as your safe swap. Annihilate was available as Shadow, so you can run the Shadow or you can run the non-Shadow. Either would work for this team. The next team is a very classic line of Talonflame, Superior, and Morpeko. This team was absolutely everywhere last season, and for good reason. It's a very strong team. You've basically just got perfect coverage with the Pokemon in the back, and you have two answers to water in the back, which Talonflame doesn't want to see. The next team we're going to take a look at is Pangoro, Grumpig, and Swalot. And yeah, this team was virtually everywhere in like the Retro Cup. No, not the Retro, the Remix Cup. Um, and the core of just Pangoro and Grumpig is very strong, as well as Pangoro plus Poison. So we're using Swalot because Pangoro is weak to fighting. It's weak to fairy, it's weak to other poisons, so this combination of these two Pokemon in the back cover Pangoro's weaknesses very well. The next team we're going to take a look at is a variant of a top rank PV Poke team. It was like the rank 1 PV Poke team, which originally had Clodsire, Malamar, and Sableye, but we're replacing Sableye with Furret because Furret was actively available during the season, whereas Sableye I think was available via like Dynamax raids, but it would have been pretty hard to get and build up during the season, so it's possible to see it, but you're not going to see it as frequently, especially not the Shadow. So we have Furret in its place, and you have two Pokemon in the back that only have one weakness, right? Malamar is only weak to Fairy, Clodsire covers Fairy. Furret only has one weakness in fighting, Clodsire covers fighting. So it's once again kind of an A-B style team, but they don't share any weaknesses, so it's more of an A-B-C style team. The only thing that you would really struggle with is like a Dark Flyer in the back, which is why you'd run Clodsire with Stone Edge for Mandibuzz. I think this simmed it with Sludge Bomb, which is why you see the loss there, but Clodsire with Stone Edge would do well here. Or Sludge Bomb, either one. It's a neutral matchup enough anyways. The next team is Credilli, Dusknoir, and Jellicent. Credilli double ghost. Credilli is weak to ice, it's weak to fighting, it's weak to bug, it's weak to steel, all of which are resisted on Jellicent, so a great core there. And then just Dusknoir as your safe swap, which does well in the majority of those, and it lures out any potential ghost answers that the opponent might have, either a normal or a dark type, and then it has super effective coverage in Dynamic Punch for those. The next team is playing a little bit of a classic line, which used to be just Mudboy plus Skarmory. It would be like Swampert or Quagsire or Whiscash plus Skarmory. Now, in modern day, it's Gastrodon and Corviknight. This core they cover each other's weaknesses very well. Corviknight weak to fire and electric. Gastrodon does well into both of those. Gastrodon only weak to grass. Corviknight double resist that, so very strong core there. And then Arctibax as your dragon resists all of those typings. And well, not the fire because it's neutral with ice, but and you can potentially lure out a fighter, which Corviknight, to be completely honest, as a flyer doesn't love. So it needs like kind of an energy lead there. So overall, pretty strong A-B-C style team with Arctibax as a safe swap. The next team is quite a bulky team. We've got Diggersby, Galarian Corsola, and Toxapex. I believe Toxapex was available. I couldn't find it anywhere, but I seem to remember seeing Toxapex or Marini in the wild at some point. So if I'm wrong, you could use Tentacruel in its place, and it would just be a slightly less bulky team, which is fine because you still have Galarian Corsola and Diggersby. Corsola available in eggs, and then Diggersby as Bunnelby was just around in the wild. Very strong core between Diggersby and Toxapex. You're weak to fighting, you're weak to ice, you're weak to water, you're weak to grass. Toxapex resists all of those except for grass, which it actually neutralizes with the poison typing and then hits for super effective damage with the poison jabs and sludge waves. And then Corsola, just as your safe swap, resisting the fighting and then neutral into the rest. So a pretty strong ABC style team. And then into the final team of the video, we've got Steelix, Golisopod, and Mandibuzz. So Steelix as a ground steel is weak to fire, it's weak to fighting, it's weak to ground, all of which are resisted on Golisopod. Golisopod actually doesn't resist fire, and neutralizes it because of the bug typing with the water, but it does hit for super effective damage against fire, so that's a fine matchup there. And then Mandibuzz weak to electric, weak to rock, and Steelix resists both of those, as well as it covers the ground weakness on Steelix as well as the flying. As well as the fighting weakness that it has flying type coverage for. So overall, these are 10 really strong teams that you can use in the Open Great League as well. I just wanted to kind of break it down and showcase what could be available in the Catch Cup and what you might see in the Catch Cup. So that's going to be it for me for this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, peace.